In part 1 of my introduction to the architecture of Vientiane, I covered the years from the French colonial period to the end of the Royal Lao government in 1975. In this concluding part, my starting point is the Communist Revolution, and I bring us up to date with the high-tech builds of today. Following the years of war during the 1960s and early 70s, the Royal Lao government fell, and the communist forces, the Pathet Lao, peacefully took over Vientiane in December 1975, creating the Lao People's Democratic Republic. The new regime inherited a bankrupt state. For the next decade, the economic difficulties that faced the new government were paramount. This was a period of socialist construction and precluded the commissioning of any public works. In fact, many existing secular and religious buildings deteriorated considerably during this time. Relations with the Soviet Union were close during these years. As a result, hundreds of Soviet technicians drew Lao firmly into the Russian sphere of influence, Russia providing funding for a number of building projects. All were constructed in concrete with prefabricated concrete blocks, providing sunshade for the facades. The most noteworthy buildings from this period are the Soviet Lao Friendship Hospital, also referred to as the 150-bedroom hospital. Today it is known as the Mitahab. Construction began in 1980, but was not completed until 1987. The Vientiane Polytechnic School started in 1981 and completed in 1986. Finally, the Russian Circus, now known as the Hong Kanyasin, although this was not opened until 1991. All projects were overseen by Russian engineers and architects, with the labour force being predominantly Lao. In the city centre, there was even a Soviet cultural centre. This no longer exists, however the building does, though a shadow of its former past. In a way, though, the city lacked a sense of monumentality associated with other socialist capitals of that time. Vientiane was never subjected to grand transforming schemes by socialist planners. There are no great statues to heroes of the revolution. The only reminder that Vientiane is indeed a socialist capital is the parade ground in front of the Ha Phat Luang. This was all about to change. 1986 saw the advent of Chen Kanuen-mai and a new economic mechanism, whereby the government decentralized control and encouraged private enterprise, the consequences of which were far-reaching and would bring about a complete transformation of the Vientiane skyline. The first major construction was the National Assembly building by Dr. Hongsad Suvarnabhong and completed in 1990 in time for the 50th anniversary of the Lao People's Democratic Republic. The three large triangular roof forms in the centre of the building boldly represent the three ethnic peoples of Lao: the Lao Lum, the peoples of the lowlands; the Lao Thong, the people of the mountain slopes; and the Lao Song, the peoples from the mountain tops. The truncated triangle at the base represents the party leading the people. The year 2000 saw the construction of the National Cultural Hall, built with Chinese financial assistance. The same year saw perhaps the most ideological structure to be built in Vientiane thus far, the Quezon Pomivan Museum, honouring the leader of the Lao People's Revolutionary Party, also later Prime Minister and President of Laos. With commanding views over the Mekong River, the Don Chan Palace Hotel was opened in 2004 in time to host sessions of the 10th ASEAN Summit in November of that year, and the ASEAN Ministerial Meeting in July 2005. Also in 2004 saw the relocation of the Mekong River Commission Secretariat to Vientiane. This impressive waterfront building is certain testament to which the city is now seen as a pivotal location in the region. Next saw the completion of the new Laos People's Army Museum. And in 2006, the Prime Minister moved his state office to the newly completed Government House, built in the grounds of the former National Assembly building. These, together with the soon-to-be completed People's Security Museum and Defence Headquarters, Vientiane seems to have entered the 21st century with great confidence. The Avenue Lanzan is now the home to a number of corporate and banking headquarters and will soon boast a large Singaporean-style shopping mall, currently being constructed next to the morning market. A new business quarter is taking shape close by and will include this landmark building for Lao Telecom. On an adjacent site, a shopping and retail complex has just been completed and awaits tenants. The Laos Securities Exchange recently opened their fine building on one of the main thoroughfares away from the city centre. And a new headquarters building for Lao Electricity takes shape opposite the School of Engineering. Lastly, even though politically the country may be aligned to the far left, spiritually the country remains deeply Buddhist, as demonstrated by the newly restored extension to Wat That Loang Nua, the residence of the Supreme Patriarch of Lao Buddhism.